Welcome to the show where we talk about one movie we saw when we were younger that was like another movie that we also saw when we were younger, but now, looking back on it, one good, one not good. How do we start this discussion? Where do we begin?
I'd like to talk about the not-so-good one.
What is it called?
The movie is called Poolhall Junkies, and it's a movie from 90-something?
2002.
I think it's 2000.
Oh, it's 2003. That's right. It's 2003.
Oh.
2003. The movie Rounders was from 1998. Poolhall Junkies was from 2003. Rounders is a movie that is about poker. Poolhall Junkies is a movie about pool. And my theory was that the filmmaker, writer, director, star Mars Callahan of Poolhall Junkies watched Rounders and said, let's just do that. Why make my own movie when I can make somebody else's movie?
You can do it, kid. It's a two-rail safety.
Thanks, Nick.
Wasn't this the reason we started to do this podcast? Because one of us said, hey, Poolhall Junkies is a lot like Rounders.
Yeah, I can't remember what we were doing or why. Oh, yeah. You guys are always doing Rod Steiger quotes back and forth at each other.
Yeah. You can do it, kid. It's a two-rail safety. We say that to each other all the time.
Yeah, you can do it, kid. It's a two-rail safety.
Yeah, if you're any kind of guy, you gotta shut up, fucking put out, and get out there, or whatever the hell it is that he says.
You gotta go into the men's room, take your pants off, and see what the fuck you got.
What the fuck you got? You ever watch nature shows about the lions?
Get this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane out there.
I thought about this movie the way that your old man thought about Independence Day 4, or Independence Day 42, or whatever the fuck it's called. It's got a lot of action. There's some romance. There's music. What's not to love? But I always knew it was bad. The thing is that it has Christopher Walken in it.
I'm gonna have a drink. Want to have a drink?
But I will forgive a multitude of sins for Christopher Walken.
Travis, are you going to talk about it at all, or?
Oh, I am.
Are you just going to?
I am.
Okay.
I'm charging up my power level.
There was a time where we were playing pool with the old man. When this movie came out, it was like, oh, a movie for pool players. And I'm not going to be shy about it. I wanted to be Johnny. I wanted to be a pool hustler. Watching it back this time around, it is so unbelievably uncool. It's like this story that I used to tell about when I crashed riding in my rollerblades, and I was wearing these red, shiny Marc Ecko pants with 10,000 zippers on them because I thought they were the coolest things on the planet. It's funny what, time does to you.
Poolhall Junkies is absolutely the most coolest movie you've ever seen if you're 12 or 13 years old.
Are you kidding me?
Man, that chick has got body karate.
Hey, do you think her tits are real? I hate chicks with fake tits.
Are you kidding me? Fake tits are the greatest invention of the 20th century.
I was gonna ask Eric if he were a gambling man, a card player, card hustler, card pervert, one of those shuffle junkies, poker perverts.
I'm definitely a shuffle junkie. I'm definitely a poker. The three of us are good friends. We've known each other for a very long time. And the bulk of the poker and pool experience that I've had has been with you two. I love pool and I love poker, but I'm garbage at both of them. But one thing that I will say, and it was funny to watch Rounders after all this time because I had never seen it before. It was an interesting experience with the foreknowledge that Rounders was Poolhall Junkies, but good. It was like watching a film that I'd seen a million times done well and highlighting all of the problems that I had really never kind of picked up on before.
I used to play poker with a very good friend of mine. Brad and I got good. We really enjoyed the game, and then it became casino trips, and then it became poker tournaments, and then it became Vegas trips. And every single player at any table around the world that we went to, you could say a line from Rounders, and somebody, if not everybody at the table, could finish the line, finish the quote, finish the scene.
Stefan and our mutual friend Brad, they invited me to Las Vegas, Nevada with them. The city of apples. We got to our hotel and casino, and Stefan and Brad said, we're going to go check in. And I said, I'm going to start gambling now. So I walked over to a blackjack table with all the money that I brought to gamble with. I think I won one game, and I may have yelled out like blackjack, like one may have yelled out Yahtzee. And then I lost all of my money. So I'm dead broke. And then Stefan and Brad walk over and say, okay, we're all checked in. Hope you enjoy your 5 nights here in Las Vegas. In the opening of Rounders, there's a scene where Matt Damon faces off against Teddy KGB, played by John Malkovich. He sits across from him.
This is going to be weird when you're talking about a good movie and we're actually going to be able to name the characters.
Well, out of
like you forget that it's John.
Out of disrespect, we misname every character.
If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker.
The filmmaker has an unenviable task of, he not only has to set up like the main conflicts and the main characters in the story, but he also has to, for those who are uninitiated, he has to teach them the basics of the game that they're playing so they can understand the plot going forward.
Your goal is to win one big bet an hour. That's it. Get your money in when you have the best of it. Protect it when you don't. Don't give anything away.
Now we're gonna go over to Poolhall Junkies, where both movies start with the main character narrating something, and Poolhall Junkies starts with the main character, and he says that the pool hall is a great equalizer.
The pool hall is a great equalizer.
It doesn't matter your race, color, or creed. And then in the next scene, he says the N-word 5 times.
And I remember this kid once who could move on a pool table like nobody had ever seen.
I used to know a pool player. He was so incredible. He couldn't miss a shot. He's awesome. You know how I know that? That guy was me.
Huge dick, too.
The actual quote is, the cue was a part of his arm, and the balls had eyes.
The balls had eyes.
I thought it was... His arms were cues and his balls had eyes. Like some sort of eldritch beast. Just like poking out all the pool balls.
That's one of the first notes that I took, was just that exact thing written down in quote.
The cue was part of his arm and the balls had eyes.
The cue was a part of his arms and the balls had eyes.
Had balls. My balls had eyes.
What are you talking about? That's incredible.
Every finger was a pool cue.
And his arms were balls.
I'm not going to say the name Johnny. I'm going to say the name Mars Callahan. So a young Mars Callahan is speaking with a pool hustler by the name of Rags about how he's going to be invited to a tournament pro league. And the leader of that pro league is named Toupee J. And they're looking for 50 pool players. And he saw Mars and said, "You're so good, we're actually going to make it 51. 51 players.
How would that work?
To play in that league. That's how...
Well, I'm just thinking about like in a tournament with, 50 players.
Yeah,
How are you going to do 51?
Good round number.
Johnny gets a bye. Also, I'd like to point out, Mars Callahan is playing a hustler who's dressed up to look like he's on his way to the set of The Sting. They're like, people aren't going to know he's a hustler con man unless we put him in that fucking extra newsy hat.
I thought he was a ghost.
I like Rags.
I thought it was like Bagger Vance or something.
Of the two people in this scene, Rags is certainly my favorite. I have two small gripes with this. One...
Guys, I said one sentence so far.
This is a small one for the stuff that we're going to talk about, but the kid looks nothing like Mars Callahan. It's a throw.
The hair color is different.
There's a lot that he's not 6'8" like Mars Callahan is, but there's the other thing that I don't like about this is he very quickly just says, when I was in
Memphis
playing Bucktooth for that Chevy. He's not necessarily a con man, but like they're not playing for money sometimes. Like there's some wild games going on. You establish a lot with that.
Last summer, I was in Memphis playing Bucktooth for that Chevy. The tournament director himself was in the room watching me play. A guy by the name of Toupee J.
But I just hate it because it gets blown by so quickly. Rags barely reacts to it. And that game is the reason that Toupee J said he was good enough to be the mysterious 51st on the pro tour.
The young Mars Callahan... He says that Toupee J told his handler Joe, played by Chaz Palminteri, that he would send the invite by mail himself, personally.
He even told Joe that he'd send the invitation himself.
Mars does not want to be a hustler. He wants to be a professional, legitimate pool player. Now, Joe, we'll call him Chaz Palminteri, he chews out Mars and says, you shouldn't be playing Rags, this hustler.
What's going on here?
We were just...
We were just what? You know what this is? This is Rags, and he's a hustler.
And then he yells at Rags and says, I'm raising a winner. I'm raising a champion.
And I'm going to make him a champion.
He says, even if you win, you can't win.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought to myself, what the fuck does that mean? It's almost as good as if you're not first, you're last. What does it mean?
Young Mars Callahan says, what does that mean? He says, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I love you, my little boy, and I'm going to raise a champion out of you.
Okay, so a couple of things about this. Firstly, it appears that the film's understanding of hustling is very superficial. He's like, oh, what'd you do, Rags? Make him win the first set? It's like, oh, yeah, so the hustler's going to let the person win, and then they bet more, then they let them win again, and then they bet more, and then they clean them out. He was hustling, apparently, in Memphis when he was playing bucktooth for the Chevy. Chaz has been taking him around to play pool, and yet he's only learning about hustlers now playing Rags?
Okay today, Joe.
Thanks, Darren.
Then Chaz goes into the other room, the bar, gets a letter from Toupee J saying, hey, Mars can join the league. He's great. And then Chaz throws the letter in the trash. What's the point in that?
Because he wants to keep him hustling. It's like when Harvey Keitel is talking to Jodie Foster. He's like, I don't want to hit you, baby. I only want what's best for you. But you got to take care of me. You know, it's like a pimp and his hoe.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's love bombing. If we want to get real psychological with it, he's abusing the kid. He's fostering dependence, if we use the dentist system. But he's love bombing him. He's basically just being like, if you don't have me, I know what's best for you.
Well, I think that... Yeah.
Demonstrating value, engaging physically, nurturing dependence. It's all part of the system.
And then we use some music from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and we transition 15 years. Mars Callahan, he's the star, he's the writer, he's the director of the film, okay? It's important to note this because when we're introduced to him playing, he's playing really well, and he's playing in a pool hall that's full of black guys. There's an exchange of dialogue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, let me...
how does the quote go?
Can you send that one over to me, Travis?
Now let me get this straight. You're saying that because you and me are friends, you're saying that makes us...
Chico, the guy that Mars is playing at the pool hall, he says...
He's playing Charles.
Oh, my Charles, right?
But Chico says, you're so good at pool that we're going to let you use the N-word as often as you like. He can heal any racial divide with his cue, with his billiards skill.
That's what I just said. I said
This entire scene is because it was 2002 and every white dude on the planet wanted to have an N-word pass. It's not racist when Mars Callahan says it because he's fucking cool, right? So I'm going to write this script this way and then I will live out that fantasy. That's the whole point.
Yeah, he's reclaiming the word.
Yeah, he's taking it back.
He's taking it back. You know, white people they've been put in the hot seat for trying to say it, but Mars Callahan is going to heal the white people and say, hey, listen, you know what? As long as you're cool and slick, we're going to be just fine.
Later on, halfway through this scene is when Johnny finds out, and I know we're going to get to it, Johnny finds out what Joe did. And then towards the end of the scene, his use of all of his racist language is validated because he was trying to send a message to his cool black friends that Joe doesn't have the money. He wrote himself an out at the end of it, so you know that they were aware of what they were doing.
And just to clarify, by Joe we mean Chaz Palminteri, and by Johnny we mean Mars Callahan. So yes, Chaz
Palmetto.
Chaz talks to Mars in the bathroom and says, stop wasting my time, and you get out there and beat these guys.
Well, he doesn't just say that, but he's also got to let us know that these black guys have drug money.
Yep.
Yes.
It's not any other kind of money. It's drug money.
Now, there's enough drug money in there that we're going to need a fucking wheelbarrow to carry it out.
And another thing in that scene is that Chaz says to Johnny, anybody can take somebody's money, but to take somebody's money and make them like it is the art of a true hustler. So what the fuck happened in the last 15 years, Joe?
It's just making me think of so many things. But another great movie about a con is called Diggstown. And James Woods says to Oliver Platt, he's like, you know what the difference is between a hustler and a good con man? A hustler has to get out of town as quickly as he can.
I prefer the line when James Woods says, do you know what the difference between a hustler and a con man is? Is that a hustler gets to say the N-word as often as he wants, and a con man has to run away really fast once he says it.
Follow Jack.
Well, I'll be a three-legged dog if I'm not looking at the side pocket kid.
Mars goes out to go to get a drink. I can't stress this enough. It has been about 1 minute and 30 seconds since we saw a young Mars Callahan talk about the tournament and being invited to that tournament by a man named Toupee J. So he steps out at a new bar in a new place 15 years later, and Toupee J is just standing there. And he says, well, if it ain't the Side Pocket Kid. Toupee J has a bodyguard that looks like the Terminator.
And he's also the co-host. He is the Pepper Brooks of the pool tournament.
He's the Pepper Jack.
Yeah, he's sitting next to Toupee J when he's calling the tournament later on in the movie. That guy still doesn't say a word.
I thought he was going to do karate because he looks like a guy from a Jean-Claude Van Damme film.
This is more subtle cringe, but Johnny goes to the bar and doesn't ask for a shot of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
He asks for a bottle of Jack, like it's some Wild West saloon, and they just give him...
Can you get a bottle?
He's just free to pour his own drinks. And then what? He's going to just tell them how many shots he had? It's that moment of like, yeah, give me a bottle of Jack. How about we start with one? And you pay for it.
Well, there's also like, and I don't know why Joe is so mad about being at the pool hall.
So stop wasting my fucking time.
Because that's his job. So I don't know why he's so pissed off at Johnny. Like, he's taking his time up. Like, where does he have to go?
Yeah, don't we do this for a living? This is our job.
Yeah, we do this all night, man. That's why we're here.
Jay informs Mars Callahan that he actually was invited to those tournaments. Because Mars says, well, I wasn't invited to those, was I? And Toupee J says...
Well, we did invite you, John, a couple times. I sent the invitations out myself.
This angers Mars Callahan. Now he knows that he was invited to those tournaments and that it was Chaz Palminteri who prevented him from achieving his ambition of becoming a professional pool player. So he barges back in.
Hey, bet 20,000. And everyone gets quiet. And then he goes, oh, did I stutter? A minute ago, it was like a weekend at the Apollo up in this motherfucker. Now it's quiet as a church.
Everybody got all quiet and shit?
It looks like his mouth is eating the words.
Yeah.
He has these big lip movements, quiet as a church.
And now all of a sudden it's quiet as a church.
He has a pronounced Robert Zadar-esque jaw, and he's really working his lips. Quiet as a church. And he's
his face looks like it's too big. You know, like, in Dick Tracy, tiny face. But the quiet as a church line is a paraphrase line from a movie starring Paul Newman called The Hustler. I found out after rewatching that he's got something of an affinity for Paul Newman.
In his attempt to goad them into betting more money, he says, I've been playing with this Johnny Walker-looking motherfucker all night.
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker. This comes after he said the N-word 17 times. But that's when Chico says,
you better watch your mouth, Johnny.
Don't call my friend Jimmy Walker, but you can say that N-word all you want.
But don't you be calling me no Jimmy Walker.
Chico spontaneously has a gun at one point. Like, it cuts from him to Johnny, or to Mars Callahan, then back to Chico, and Chico's holding a gun that he immediately hands to someone else. He goes, take this, I'll play him myself.
But why do they... I'll get back to the first scene of the movie in a second, but like the idea of hustling, I don't understand it. I lost $5,000. Let's double the bet now. Just say no. Just take the $5,000 and leave.
I think it's a Mad TV sketch where like Will Sasso comes in and he's a hustler in a suit. Will Sasso's like, all right, looks like you've won $1 million from me. Why don't we play the next game for $5 million? And the guy's like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to take my $1 million and leave.
That's the defining premise of the universe of this movie, that you actually can't leave the pool hall until all your money is gone. They solve all of their problems with games of pool for money.
It's not just about the money. Like, you have to defend the honor of your pool hall. You have to step up and like be a man.
Yeah.
And accept challenges issued to you.
If somebody calls your wife dumb.
Say, Moose, I was watching TV with your wife today. Stupid bitch. Took her 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes.
You have to chase them, and then when you can't catch them, you have to bet them money to play pool.
Get your money up. Race to 5 for 100, and I want to see the money this time.
Like, it's a very strange world they create.
I'll play anybody in the house. You know that, Chico.
Charles, get the rest.
So the two play and play and play, and then it gets to the point when it looks as though Mars is about to win. But then he throws the game.
What the fuck you doing? Hey! He's got 8,000 on him, but it's not enough.
Chaz Palminteri says, what's going on? And he's grabbed by these bodyguards. And Chico says, don't you understand? He was communicating with me through body language and insinuations that he was going to throw the game on purpose because he learned what you did to him early in his life, and therefore he is absolved of paying off his debts to me, and all the debts that you both owe of what you lost is actually on you, Chaz Palminteri.
You missed the fucking signs, Joe.
And then they do a cool handshake, and Mars Callahan walks away, free of the person who prevented him from becoming the man he wanted to be. Now, it was a short movie.
That moment is especially funny to me because bet 20,000. All right, 20,000 is the bet. Chico looks like a guy that's paying attention, and Mars says to him he's got 8,000 on him, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's not enough. You need 20,000. 8 is less than 20.
Well, they do throw him into a pile of garbage bags outside of the pool hall as their final revenge against Joe. They do him punches, then they throw him in garbage.
Well, first off, to Stefan's point, the way that Mars Callahan says that line is very strange. If you go back and watch it, it's like weirdly sexual. I don't know why he says it the way he does, but he's like, he's got 8K on him, but it's not enough. And then Chico says, you really think that I would let a white boy come into my pool hall and talk that much shit to me unless he was trying to tell me something without saying it?
Yeah, but there's more to that little line.
You didn't listen. Me and Johnny,
It goes to more inane voiceover from Mars Callahan.
When I was 12, I walked into a pool room, picked up a cue, and I just knew how to play.
He pawns his cue. I don't know why he can't play pool anymore. He's free of his pimp, his pool pimp. He can go play professionally if he wants to, but he pawns his cue, and then he goes and gets a job at a construction site. And then you see the opening titles in white, where the top of the letters are overlaid on top of an overexposed, completely white sky.
Yeah, and the font is like American $100 bill.
Yes, because money.
I know this is probably going to go a lot longer, but can I just quickly compare this to Rounders? We start off with a monologue talking about what it means to play poker professionally. And you see him taking out stacks of thousands of dollars, and he's hiding all of this in How to Play Poker movies, Doyle Brunson's Super System, and he's going out to play a big game of poker. He's tired of living the grind. He wants to actually relax and enjoy the game and make a success of himself.
Give me 3 stacks of high society.
$30,000 for a college student in New York going to law school, probably a big chunk of change. He loses it all to Teddy KGB. And now he's become disillusioned. He's completely broke. And he figures, you know what? That's my sign. I'm not going to, because he probably could start playing again, but he had his soul crushed in that moment. There's a reason for him to want to stay away from poker.
But after 15 years with Joe, the only thing I ever got to be was the best hustler.
Mars Callahan loses Joe, and he figures, oh, you know what? I'm 30 years old. It's too old to keep playing pool. He's just like, yep, I gave it all up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why?
Just play pool the way you want
Didn't get injured. He didn't lose his shirt. Like, go play professionally now. Go talk to Toupee J.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah. He never talks to him. He never says to him, like, oh, shit, man, I didn't realize that. Do you think we can have a conversation now about me playing pro? The beginning of Rounders, like, we established that Mike is the reason that Mike is broke. Like, that's a big amount of money to lose. You set yourself back. Obviously, your relationship suffers. It gives us a reason why our character is trying to not play cards. Exactly in the way that Poolhall Junkies does not. Like, there's no reason. He's like, oh, now I just, washed up now. Can't do it. Got to go put my hard hat on backwards.
I'm thinking about The Hustler. And in The Hustler, Paul Newman is such an amazing player, but he gets scared of success. He gives himself a reason to lose, and he loses against Minnesota Fats, but everybody saw him play. So then he realizes he can't get a game and he can't play pool for money until he goes into some back alley joint where they don't know him, but then they figure he's a hustler, and then they break his hands. That's his reason for not playing. Again, very reasonable, very plausible. Nowhere close to Mars Callahan, who just decided he doesn't want to.
There's a moment in the opening credits after this scene where he's in a bar and he looks longingly over his shoulder at a couple playing pool, and he turns his head away and he's like, no, I can't. Why? Why not? In fact, whenever they show him playing pool, he's always very good and he always plays very well and wins. They never show him playing poorly. Like, he's lost. He's lost his powers. And all the characters in his life says, you're the best, Mars Callahan. You never lose. And then Rod Steiger says, you have the ability to be the best. And then Walken says, you're great. So everyone is always patting him on the back and he says, no, I can't do it because I can't, imagine if I can't, I don't understand why he can't play. So instead of playing pool, he gets a construction job where he can't even hammer a nail. I'm a little soy boy beta cuck, and I can hammer a nail, okay? Anyone can hammer a nail, okay, idiot? But it doesn't matter, because the foreman's there, he says, okay, before I go on, the actor who they hired to be the foreman of the construction site.
He has an accent like that, sounds like this.
You know, I'd have to say you're the worst carpenter I ever worked with in my entire life.
And it sounds like he lost his, he sounds like he had a tracheotomy, right?
And he sounds like this.
If I need a couple truckloads of steel to disappear off this side, I know I can count on you to make it happen, right?
Hey, you're that dishonest pool hustler. If I need some lumber to disappear, if I need to trust you and count on you to do something illegal, I can count on you, right?
But Mars Callahan says, no, I don't want to be a bad guy anymore. I stopped hustling. I'm done billiardsing. So he says no, and then the foreman says my favorite line of the movie, which is,
What? What?
Yeah, I know. I wrote that down.
What?
There's actually
what
in this scene. There's actually
what?
The only bit of I would say like actually well-crafted dialogue is in this scene, because he says that he got his job because Jack owed him a favor. And then the guy goes, if you walk out of here, you and Jack are both going to be looking for work. And then he goes, okay, well, then you tell Jack we're even.
Well, then you can tell Jack I said we're even.
And he leaves. Like that was the only well-written part. But this entire scene is crazy. Johnny gets paid at lunch halfway through the day.
Hey, Johnny, you got a phone call?
Johnny gets a phone call on someone else's cell phone. Like, you know what I mean?
I wrote that down.
The boss.
Johnny, you got a phone call on this guy's phone.
On this guy's cell phone. And then, but the best part is the boss says to him, like, he's like, how did you get a job here? You're fucking terrible at this. And he goes, Jack.
You hired me.
He goes, Jack owed me a favor. He hired me on. And the guy goes, well, Jack's a good man. He's a bad gambler, though. It's like, that doesn't have any bearing here. You might as well have said, Jack smells like shit, but he can fucking hire whoever he wants. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Jack's a good lover, but he's not a good gambler.
That line that he says, that the only good piece of dialogue in the film,
if you and Jack are out of here.
Well, you can tell Jack we're even. He storms out, and it would have been a good line, but for some reason, the soundtrack starts and it goes, and it's just the most inappropriate song choice. And then he goes to the local pool hall. It's okay to pool now. He is a billiard now. He goes and he meets with his brother, who is the actor who played Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Say moose, stupid bitch.
We have Captain Christopher Pike from, I forget if it's Brave New Worlds or Strange New Worlds, I don't care.
No.
We have the guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Since when was he ever satisfied with just enough?
And the winner of a Fred Savage lookalike contest.
The average vaginal canal is 7.9 inches.
So those are the four characters. I hate them.
They're awful.
If you want to talk about them, go ahead. I have nothing. The actors are fine. The characters are bad. We also meet Rod Steiger, who overacts everything he's in.
Sooner or later, if you're any kind of man, you gotta step up, step out, and see what the fuck you got.
Oh, in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Even just, what's he checking that $100 bill for? To see if it's real? He owns the place, right? So after he determines that it's real, he snatches it from his own hands and puts it in his pocket.
Mars arrives, and they say, there's a pro here. I haven't played in a while, though. And then it's like, okay, then don't play.
Oh, you didn't say anything about that. This guy's a pro?
You don't have to do this. Just play for fun. Okay, he plays the pro. They all go outside. It is implied that Mars Callahan beat the pro. And when they step outside, I believe it's Lex Luthor who says, oh, weather's been crazy lately. Because they step outside into snow.
I don't know, the weather's been crazy lately.
He says that so when they cut to different exteriors and you notice that it's spring, winter, autumn, winter, summer,
yes.
you won't be confused because somebody said...
That crazy weather.
The weather's been crazy.
Where are they, by the way?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
But are they, it's shot in Salt Lake City, but I don't think that's where it's supposed to take place.
We brush past all the kids doing their thing, right? We're not going to talk too much about them.
Oh, I hate them. You guys can talk about them. But yeah, go right ahead.
I don't know why they're in the movie. Maybe they thought that the idea of playing pool professionally was going to bore people. So they're like, we need kids to have like a Porky's-esque sex comedy type thing happen. I mentioned the affinity for Paul Newman. Travis, did you catch it? When the dude is hustling the two guys for like the beer shot chugging bet.
So you have to explain the bet. Captain Christopher Pike makes a bet with these two Italian fellas.
Yeah, so the bet is, I'll bet that I can drink both of these pints of beer before you can fire down both your shots. But to make it fair, you got to let me drink one first.
Okay, just to make it fair, you gotta at least let me finish my first beer before you fire down both your shots. And you can't touch my glasses and I can't touch yours.
And I won't touch your glasses and you won't touch my glasses.
Uh-huh.
So the Italian guys, Eric, give me some Italian dialogue here.
Oh, yeah, you can take those down, sanguige.
Wahoo! Yahoo! Wahoo!
Yeah, there we go. See, now we're in the mood.
Let's go.
So he finishes his beer and he puts the glass over top of one of the shot glasses and says, you can't touch my glasses and I can't touch your glasses.
Oh, and how much does he win?
Oh, he fucking wins $200. But the reason I bring it up is because Lex Luthor, he's like being chased by Moose.
Moose.
Young Christopher Pike, as he sees him running by, says, say 1, 2, 3, go.
Say 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
For those that don't know, there's a great moment in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid where Butch has the upper hand in this fight with this guy Harvey, and in that split second he's like, say 1, 2, 3, go.
Another reference to Paul Newman.
There is an important development point here character-wise. We learn that Lex Luthor, who is Mars Callahan's brother, he's raising money to buy flyers for his upcoming show because he's a musician. But after he successfully goads Moose into defending his wife's honor by losing $100, he screams at Nick to give him his cue.
Well, okay, Nick is Rod Steiger.
And Nick is conservatively 140 years old. Rod Steiger is the oldest man in the movie, and he belligerently hollers at him to give him his cue. And like in real life, the man would be dead. It would be a heart attack and he'd be gone.
Hey, Nick!
The very next scene, we follow those four deeply unlikable characters to Mel's restaurant where they can talk about a woman's large breasts because they're all guys, you see. And that's all men ever talk about. The size, the shape, the texture, the contours, and contents of breast tissue.
Yeah, I've seen breasts.
I don't even want to say it's childish, the dialogue. It makes me ashamed to be an adult. Maybe they're all really good actors. They all do a good job of saying this pathetic, pitiful, wretched dialogue.
Did you guys know that the average penis size is 6.4 inches?
Mars told those guys, you guys are friends, you're hanging out, you're talking about tits. So just make sure, that you're calling each other idiots, you're talking about titties, and you're laughing. And action.
Insinuate that at least one of you is gay. Just make sure you hit you do all the hits. And actually, there's the one part of this scene that makes me the most angry that this film does make me at all, is that the one guy chooses to say body karate.
Man, that chick has got body karate.
We cut to Chico, who is leaving what looks like a library, and he has a briefcase, and he goes into his car.
Why is that funny, Travis? Why is it funny that Chico's leaving a library? What specifically about that you find funny?
It's a low-budget movie. They're working with one building, so they're like, hey, can you walk to your car? Use that door. I got to hold something, though. Okay, here's the briefcase.
What's in the briefcase?
It could be full of shredded newspaper. I have no idea.
Just papers.
Just my business papers.
Business.
What do you do? I'm unemployed.
Papers. Just papers. Business papers.
And what do you do, sir?
I'm unemployed.
Chico goes into his car, and in the back seat is Chaz Palminteri. He's there with a knife, and he says, payback's a bitch.
Give me your gun and all the money in your briefcase.
And he conks him on the head with the butt of his pistol. So Chico didn't kill.
That's not what he says.
Yes, he says payback's a bitch, doesn't he?
Say what he says.
He says the rest. No, Travis is right. He does say that, but he also
but what else does he say, Eric?
Yeah, he says the N-word again.
Mars just likes to slip him in. Wherever he can, he just pops him in.
He does. He loves it. He'll get him in anywhere
He's
he can.
quick with them.
How long was Joe in that car for? That's what I want to know. Because it's like 2 weeks later, right?
He's just waiting all night. It's funny because Chico didn't kill Chaz Palminteri's character. So are we supposed to think that he killed Chico? Because he just sort of whacks him on the head. Like, why are they leaving each other alive? We can bring this back to Rounders because there is always this present sense of actual danger in Rounders. That the people that Matt Damon is engaged with, all of those people are actually quite dangerous.
You're leaving me no outs here. You want to take it up with KGB? You go right ahead.
In Rounders, I understand, when KGB and Grandma talk about owning Mike, he's going to be so deep into debt that all he can ever do is make the minimum payment. He's just going to be paying the VIG. You wouldn't kill somebody that owes you money. You just want to hurt them. You want to hurt them bad enough so that they'll want to pay you, but not so bad that they can't make money for you. Chaz Palminteri owes Chico, he owes him $12,000. So either he took it all from him, and then they just threw him in the trash, and then that should have been that, or what, they just beat him up and then let him go? I don't get who's in danger or why in Poolhall Junkies. I didn't think anybody was, really.
I just don't understand you're supposed to be a menacing figure, but then Chico allows Chaz Palminteri to carry on for the next week or so? I mean, there's no immediate backlash?
It doesn't make sense if you're like an actual criminal, right? If you're a character in a movie, okay. But if you're an actual criminal, none of it makes sense.
Mars Callahan returns home to his girlfriend Tara's palatial estate, her enormous apartment, and she is doing an impression of a dot matrix printer for the whole film.
What's this? You're playing again, aren't you?
I can't believe you're doing this. Are you kidding me? And the next morning, Tara is mad at Mars. She says, "You forgot my birthday." And he says, "It was your birthday?" And she says, "You were out playing pool again."
No.
I don't like when you...
Hold on. This is a tiny detail, but I have a...
What?
This is a small detail, but I have a huge gripe with this scene because her actual line of dialogue, she says, "It was my birthday last night." No, it wasn't. It was your birthday all day.
It was my birthday last night, Johnny.
You son of a bitch. You were playing pool, weren't you? And he says, "Yeah, I was playing pool. I'm no construction guy. I can do one thing, Tara. I can play pool. Ugh." And she says, "My boss is having a dinner. You should be there." And he says, "All right." And she says, "You think you're going to get off this easy?"
I just turned 30, and I will be damned if I'm going to let you screw me.
But then she opens her door, and a bunch of balloons fall out, and it says on a big banner, "Happy Birthday, Tara."
You rat bastard.
So Mars Callahan didn't forget her birthday. But then I thought, he did miss her birthday. He missed the birthday dinner. He missed her whole birthday. You just can't say the next day, "Here's balloons. I'm actually thoughtful."
All of these beats are in the other movie, but Mike, it's always centered on Mike in Rounders. Like, Mike loses his own money.
Mike is Matt Damon.
Matt Damon loses his own money. Matt Damon chooses to play cards over law school. In this movie, everything is written away, and it's always somebody else's. Like, Mars Callahan is never actually the bad guy. He doesn't forget her birthday. They don't actually need the money because his partner is a big-time actual lawyer, not a law student, so it's okay if they lose money. He's not playing to save his own skin. He's playing to save his brother. So, like, it takes you out of everything.
So instead of coming home, you went and played cards with some judge?
I know, I wasn't even playing. No, they were playing. I just caught his eye by reading his hand, that's all.
You have this wonderful character moment where leading up to this point, Matt Damon is like, "I wasn't even playing. I was just at the judge's, I read his hand. I didn't even play." He's not explaining to his girlfriend what's going on. He's trying to explain to himself. Like, he's trying to delude himself. But just in the blink of an eye, Mars Callahan's like, "I'm a pool player, Tara. I'm not a construction worker. I can't be here like some sort of kept man."
Well, and she immediately understands. She's like, "Oh, well, you better not be late for the party, though." But then again, why would you write yourself to be a bad character? Hey, Mars, do you want to write some character flaws, maybe? No, fuck no. This guy rules.
What are you talking about?
His name's Johnny Side Pocket, and his arms were fused, and his balls have eyes.
The other thing that I always thought that where Johnny sets up the balloons, because he says it's her apartment, right? I thought that was the hallway, but it's not a hallway. That's the foyer.
Yeah.
She has an apartment-sized room for people to wait in before coming into that apartment.
Yeah, you know what? They're doing fine. There's no money problems.
He's got to pawn his pool cue to pay for tools at the construction job that he got as a favor.
Hey, great segue, because Mars then returns to the pawn shop to pick up his cue, and there he sees his brother, Lex Luthor, picking up his guitar. Now, I told Eric this, but Stefan, did you notice something about Lex Luthor's guitar?
It's upside down, right?
It's upside down because the actor is left-handed.
But they couldn't be bothered to restring the guitar.
No, and he plays it for Johnny, and it sounds nice.
Looks like you're getting pretty good at that thing, huh?
You're getting pretty good at that thing. And he says, yeah, it was very difficult learning how to play it upside down.
And also, he says, don't embarrass me in front of V, who's the pawnbroker. The pawnbroker doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and just the idea of, like, you're not supposed to hawk things.
That's your guitar. You're not supposed to pawn that.
Yeah, and he's got your pool cue back there. You're not supposed to pawn that.
That's different.
I don't know what they're trying to set up. Maybe we're trying to show that Mars Callahan values what his brother is interested in more than the things that he is interested in. But enough of that. Mars Callahan and Lex Luthor have this little brotherly moment. Mars takes his brother down to the ground, and that scene reminds me of in movies when guys and girls are play wrestling, and there's this charged moment when they look like they're about to kiss each other.
But that's exactly what happens, because he has like a little mini orgasm when Mars Callahan brings him to the ground. If you look at his face, he's like,
Oh, Mars, you're so strong. I bet you just can't pin me down and hold me.
Yeah, what about for this scene? If you slap me for real.
I hate these guys and their sexy twink bodies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Old Housen Invitational $100,000 nine-ball shootout.
So Mars says to Lex Luthor, hey, want to see some real pool playing? So they go to where a bunch of men are playing in tuxedos. So I know they're professionals. Mars Callahan meets an old pool-playing friend.
Hey, Johnny. Oh, St. Louis, how you doing?
Your brother could sink the Rock better than the best of them, or something like that.
He could quote the Rock better than the rest of them. The guy's name was St. Louis.
St. Louis, that's right, yes.
And then we meet Charlie Banks, who I believe is Stephen King in a cameo in the film. You get Boston Shorty, and then you get the legendary Jersey Red. And I only remember that because all of the nicknames in this movie are trite.
What's he mean by the Rock? Oh, that's the cue ball. Come on.
Lex Luthor says, hey, Johnny, what does he mean by the Rock? And Johnny says, oh, he means the cue ball. Come on. And just don't say that. You must know what the Rock means.
Just don't say that.
He's been playing pool for 15 years. They must know this lingo. They don't say, pass me the Rock later on. He's like, hey, what does he mean by Rock? Oh, let's just say my peanuts. Let's just say the cue ball. Did you guys want to talk more about the old men who are actual pool players and not actors and therefore bad on screen?
Well, I would like to talk about how everybody that's not white in this movie is portrayed like a cartoon. Like they get Ricky to pretend to be a Greek.
When he talks, for fuck's sakes, I'm having trouble talking to you, but I am smart.
Malaka. Yeah, I love that guy so much.
I am Greek.
That guy sent it, man.
This is the fourth funny voice. The character, they call him the Greek. And Mars says, he has to look the way I think a Greek man looks. He has to sound like the way I think a Greek man sounds.
Otherwise, we're not going to get it.
Malaka. Last time you play, you beat me 10,000.
As he says, Malaka. And so he calls him a jerk-off. That's the first thing he says to St. Louis. And then, my favorite part of it, because I don't remember the whole thing, but at the end, when they agree to play, he says, get balls. And the guy's like, I got your balls right here.
Get balls.
Mars Callahan thinks that he's going to get to play. He told the construction worker guy, he's not a thief, he's not a hustler, he doesn't want to be that guy.
What?
And yet, at a moment's notice, he is ready to engage in a con, like a hustle, on this Greek guy. Your hustle's like a work of art. I can't wait to fucking hustle this guy. And then when they're like, oh no, we were setting up the hustle for Red over here. And then he gets all despondent. He's like, oh, damn, I really wanted to hustle.
Well, the shirt says hustler, so it's...
He's at a tournament where Toupee J is announcing. He could go over to talk to Toupee J and be like, hey.
Hey, Toupee J, I'm here. I finally made it.
And he's like, it's just J now. I don't wear the toupee.
I don't wear a rug
Hey,
anymore.
bald J.
No, it's just J. Hey, little Dick J. Just J.
Hey, it's alopecia J.
It's convicted child molester J.
This scene ends with another wonderful musical transition. Mars Callahan is despondent. I fell back into my hustler ways. Lex, you stay here. Watch the pros. I gotta go. and then it goes into the party scene.
This is yet another choice that I don't get in hindsight. Like, it's the only part of the movie that starts with like a still frame montage, like we're watching Goodfellas. You know what I mean? Like, there's this weird montage of photos from the party.
Yeah, it's very weird.
But it never gets used again. It's just at this scene. And the only people that we see are actually the people that we hear talk later, so they must have just not had a lot of extras.
Once again, he is just inspired by someone else or something else, like Goodfellas. He said, I'm going to do that in my movie. Not understanding where the inspiration may have come from. That part is not the part that I wanted to discuss, really. After the pictures, it goes to yet another actor making yet another interesting choice.
Ah, yes.
I made a Freudian slip yesterday. Over breakfast, I meant to ask my wife to pass the butter, but instead I said, "You bitch, you've ruined my life."
But instead I said, "You bitch, you've ruined my life."
That's actually really good. That's exactly what that guy sounded like.
That's excellent. Now, why did he say that? And why did he say it like that?
They're going for that, lacrosse playing squish squash type of vibe. And I guess Mars is trying to convey that this guy is out of touch with reality. The way him and his friend have Mars Callahan's girlfriend like trapped, and the type of joke that they're telling a woman that he presumably wants to try and sleep with, the way he says it, what he says, and how he's positioned his body to like prevent them from escaping is like such a Chad sorority guy. Not sorority guy. What the fuck is it when the dudes all take showers together?
Fraternity,
yeah. It's like it's a very frat guy thing to do. So unintentionally genius, and a nice little critique on these yuppies and how little game they have.
And yeah, like that absolutely is the case, because later on, that guy is actively trying to get her to come back to his boat.
Come back to my boat, little wine, little dancing.
He no longer sounds like this. You bitch, you've ruined my life.
You got anything in this joint besides champagne?
Mars doesn't fit in. He doesn't fit in with all these stuffed shirts. He's too cool. By the way, you know how in like karate movies everyone knows karate? Like everyone can just jump into a fight willy-nilly? This is just like a karate film, except that instead of karate and fighting, it's pool. Every room seems to have a pool table, and every conflict seems to be negotiated through billiards. It's a strange universe in which we reside. So Mars Callahan steps out onto the balcony from this party, and we hear a voice.
It's me.
I'm gonna step out and get some smog.
I'm going outside. Get some smog.
Before we get here, Travis, I do want to just touch on one thing, because Mars Callahan goes up to Tara,
licks her face.
He approaches her from behind, right? He finds her, and she says, "You're late," and they have their whole dialogue thing. But if you watch the scene, she's standing literally in a corner by herself.
I was gonna fucking say this.
Staring into the corner. It's like when
it's the Blair Witch House.
To fix the scene, just put her by a window. Just go stand in the corner. And then Johnny's going to come up behind you and do that thing that, you do in a movie where he's like, "I'm here now." And you're like, "You're late," and all that bullshit. But she's just in a corner, and it makes no sense to me. I wouldn't put it past the character for just trying to stand in the corner so that "you bitch" guy doesn't come back. But like, there's no reason for her to be there.
Come back here, bitch.
But yes, Christopher Walken. Please, let's get to Christopher Walken.
What do you call 1,000 lawyers buried up to their neck in sand?
And then Mars Callahan says, and then Christopher Walken says, "Not enough sand."
And then the best thing that he says is he goes, "Good hair."
Good hair.
Because they have the exact same haircut.
Are we related?
Good hair. You too. Are we related?
He says, "I hate this party. Too many stuffed shirts. I wish I could talk to somebody with my haircut."
You play pool, Mike?
A little. Why do you ask?
Because you got a crease on your pants.
And then Mars Callahan says, "Hey, I notice a big, thick, hard crease in your pants." And then Christopher Walken says, "Whoa, John, I don't know if I want to talk to a guy who notices a crease in my pants." And then Mars Callahan says, "Ha, I didn't say in your pants, idiot. I said on your pants."
You didn't say it the gay way.
Because you're leaning up against a table. Also, there's blue chalk on your pants, and that can only be found on a pool table. And I know that because no matter where I go, I'm always near a pool table. I have radar for pool tables. I'm comprised entirely of 8 balls. My arms are cute, and my balls have eyes.
best part of this entire movie.
We have to.
You can tell he's having. This is the one thing that I will say about this is that this is the only person in the world that Mars Callahan has chemistry with, and for whatever reason, like, it genuinely looks like Christopher Walken enjoys him, because when they're in scenes together, it's good.
I think secretly Mars Callahan is the nicest man in the whole world, because there's no other reason why Christopher Walken, Chaz Palminteri, Rod Steiger, Allison Eastwood, there's no way they're all flying to Salt Lake City, Utah for a few weeks to film a movie unless Mars Callahan is like the nicest person in the whole world. That's the only explanation I have.
Even Toupee J has been in a bunch of Coen Brothers movies. Like
it's Richard Portnow. He's a great actor. These are all great actors.
In that whole interaction, I made a note of when Mars Callahan says, "You're not." Ordinarily I'd blame that on bad dry cleaning, but a guy like you doesn't get bad dry cleaning. Christopher Walken gives like a little wink and a smile, and he says, "Nah," and that's all he needed. He completely outclassed Mars Callahan's performance for the rest of the movie.
Christopher Walken, I don't remember his character's name.
He's Uncle Mike.
He's Tara's uncle.
Mike, you back for some more? I'm just getting started.
He says, I've been losing at pool all night. They got a table upstairs. So they go upstairs, and the character, it's Adam Chance for Agent for Harm for my Mystery Science Theater 3000 fans. He's the owner of the house, and he's Tara's boss. And Christopher Walken makes an incredible bank shot.
I'm just saying that shot was luck. You couldn't make that shot again in a million years. I don't have to make it again in a million years. I made it just now.
You couldn't do it again, though. I would bet anything that you couldn't do it again. Mars Callahan says that he will make the trick shot.
Everybody got all quiet and shit?
And I'll do it one-handed even, he says. But if he does, Adam Chance, the boss, has to give Tara a really good job at his firm. And if he fails, Christopher Walken will give Adam Chance his new Benz.
My new Benz.
His new Mercedes-Benz.
My new Benz.
The best part of that is it's got a can't get lost system. Like it's totally 2003 because it apparently has a can't get lost system. I've never heard of that in my life.
For the longest time, I thought he was saying a kink in laws system. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? A kink in laws system? Like he's got some shit in there that like lawyers aren't allowed to have.
Importantly, there was a scene in Rounders where Matt Damon's character, he's making a delivery to these judges who are all having this poker game.
Summer clerkship in your office says I know what you're holding.
I don't bet with jobs like that. Let's just say I'll put you at the top of the list if you're right.
Mike says, a summer clerkship in your office, I know what cards you're holding. So Mike is saying like for himself. And he doesn't even get the job. He's like, well, I'm not going to give that job away. And like, they're just having a little conversation. He's just trying to catch the guy's eye. But to show how altruistic he is, Mars Callahan is going to bet a job for Tara to be a lawyer at the firm. Like, it's a crazy thing to wager.
If I make that shot, you got to give her a job as a lawyer in your firm.
Being put at the top or being on somebody's radar for a clerkship position is vastly different from giving somebody a job as a lawyer for a whole year.
You know, this is going to become important later, but in this scene, Christopher Walken, with a guy he's just met, first he has a very wonderful line where he says, who cares? I'll spot you the money. Let's play like children. Like, he just has like a really wonderful line, and you kind of know who this guy is. Doesn't give a shit about losing money. And then he bets his car with a guy he has just met because he likes him, right? And so you learn a lot about his character just right there.
It's 2 words, fringe class. And it was Frank Reynolds that really put Christopher Walken's character into perspective for me.
I live on the fringe class.
It's just, Chris Walken is this retired guy with way too much money, and he loves the action, and he loves scheming and hustling. And so to anybody that says, oh, why would this millionaire be associating with pool hustlers? It's like, because it's fun and he's bored.
Like, first introduction. Yeah, he says, I'm retired and they keep dragging me out to stuff like this. Yeah, he's just bored. The difference with Rounders is in Rounders, Matt Damon is only dealing with his own money. Whereas now in Poolhall Junkies, we have a character with essentially limitless resources to provide for Mars Callahan.
And that makes the drama better or worse?
It makes it worse.
Much better, I would say, because I don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to be, you don't want to have that sense of like dread or tension, right? I don't know where else to fit this in. In poker, you can have a bad hand and still win. In pool, if the ball doesn't go in, you can't really bluff your way out of that. You can't say, it did go in. Maybe you won't see that. Like, there's no poker face for pool. The ball goes in or it doesn't. Inherently, there's less drama with pool hustling than card playing, poker playing. Filming the poker game, it's like they're filming someone's face as they look at their cards, and we're waiting to see their reaction. But when they look at the other player, we're filming someone's reaction to their reaction.
I think that's why they chose to, every time they cross each other on the pool tables, you hear the sound of like swords.
Ching! Yes.
Like they add a lot of like...
Ching!
Yeah, we're gonna get into, since we're talking about sound effects, I just want to go over the sound effects in this movie are swords.
Ching!
There's a Looney Tunes ping. There's like an arrow type of bouncing sound. What's Christopher Pike when he like gets out of the bed? There's like a pa-choom.
Oh, ricochet!
Cowboy Mike's own original red hot ricochet!
There's also lots of airplane noises, like airplanes taking off when balls are moving around the table.
His balls had eyes.
A car tire screeching sound. And then there's also lion sound effects when players are moving around the table.
I think they came free with Windows Movie Maker, which was the editing software that Mars Callahan used. After the game, Tara is so upset that Mars gambled with her boss. She says, "I'm through with you, Jack." He then goes to Rod Steiger to be acted at. This is an important thematic point. I'm not joking here. Mars says, Chaz Palminteri ruined me. But Steiger says, no, he just made you play so many bums that you believe that you have become one yourself.
You go around thinking you're a loser, and boy, you'll become a loser.
You think you're a loser? So then you'll become a loser.
It's actually a great line.
It's a wonderful thing to hear because Chaz Palminteri influenced Mars Callahan's character so much to make him believe that he was only ever good enough to be a hustler.
I think that whole dynamic is taken from The Hustler. George C. Scott says something to Paul Newman along the lines of like, I don't know if I trust you yet, Fast Eddie, but I trust in Finley. And he's like, what does that mean? He's like, well, Finley's a loser. And Paul Newman says, wasn't that what you said about me? And he says, well, no, Finley's all loser. You're only half loser.
Okay, so yeah, it is taken from...
But still, like, I mean, he did a pretty decent job paraphrasing it.
Yeah, it's not word for word.
And he didn't act too hard.
No, he did not Rod Steiger it.
Where would you be without me? I found you on the street, living above the arcade with the fucking rats.
Chaz Palminteri then returns and breaks Mars Callahan's hand.
You were never good enough to be a pro, Johnny.
And he says, you were never good enough to be a professional, reinforcing that thematic point. So it's very important that we're zeroing in on it. It's very important.
Did anybody else look at like Chaz Palminteri when Mars Callahan is supposed to be giving that sad monologue?
Everything you are because of me.
What's that, Joe? Fucking con man.
Chaz Palminteri's like wincing. And it looked to me like he was having trouble holding the gun up.
It may have been freezing outside.
The thing that I don't get about this part is that we're like led to believe throughout the whole thing that Chaz Palminteri was essentially like the only influence that Mars Callahan ever had. But through this and other parts of the movie, it's also made clear that like he's really close to Nick. And like Nick is almost like a father to him as well. So where the fuck was Nick for all those 15 years?
You concentrate on your own game.
Man, you've been telling me that since I'm 15 years old.
Was there not like some kind of like dueling, influences?
It was an acting class.
The movie should have been Mars Callahan is raised by Chaz Palminteri and he breaks away and Nick meets, and then it becomes like this dueling mentor type thing.
It's like Karate Kid 3.
The point that I'm trying to make is if we had that in the movie, then we wouldn't have had the 4 teenagers and their little house party titty talk.
You're so great because that leads me into the next scene.
think girls are a little weird, that's all.
So the four awfully young characters have this wretched scene in that filthy diner where they say girls are weird or whatever, and then nothing else they say really matters.
Chris, all chicks do that stuffed animal thing. They're chicks. They're fucking weird. You just can't let that shit bother you.
Mars Callahan comes into the diner and says, "Hey, Fred Savage, you're a guy who sells trailer homes.
Well, I figure since you're the only one of these degenerates who's got a job, maybe I...
Get me a job with Merv."
Merv?
So we cut to Merv at the trailer park, and it's summer again, and there's no snow outside.
I gotta talk about Merv.
Merv looks like a cult leader.
Merv is my favorite character in this entire movie, and I totally forgot about him. Merv fucks 100%. I'm pretty sure Merv is wearing whatever outfit they decided the Greek guy shouldn't wear. Like, Merv has on the second outfit for that Greek dude, and he looks like they had a makeup artist on set the entire time and they never let them do anything. So then they were like, you know what? Just do whatever you want with Merv. Because that dude has so much fucking makeup on.
You think I want anybody else like you working here? Next thing you know, be mutiny at Merv's, and then they'll find me face down in a puddle of blue toilet water.
Mars Callahan and his brother Lex Luthor go to the trailer home store, and he says, "I want a job." And Merv says, "Fuck off," or something like that. And then Mars Callahan says, "Well, I got ESPN." And that's a dumb joke. Lex Luthor says, "ESP, I have psychic abilities. Wouldn't you want a salesman who has psychic powers?" And Merv says, "Fuck yeah, but fuck you. Get the fuck out of here," or something like that.
Merv says, "That'd be great, but I don't believe in that shit." And then Mars Callahan's like, "Let me prove it to you." And he's like, "Oh yeah?" Like, immediately believes in that shit. It doesn't make any sense.
He says, "Okay, we're going to bet."
What kind of bet?
Johnny, don't.
I'm going to tell you where you got your shoes.
I bet you I can tell you where you got your shoes. If I can do that, you give me a job, all right?
If I'm not correct, you can have my ring, Mars Callahan says. And Merv says, "Okay, you got yourself a bet, but you're never going to win that bet, and I'll tell you why. Haha, I got these shoes on a cruise when I was in international waters."
So, no matter what you say, you're going to lose.
But I never said I could tell you where you bought your shoes, Merv.
I said I was going to tell you where you got your shoes. And right now, you got your shoes on your feet.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to unpack here. Right after Mars Callahan says, "You got your shoes on your feet," and he's like, "I won the bet," he walks away. Like, don't you want to stick around and figure out what the job is going to be about?
Sign your paperwork, maybe.
I got these shoes when I was on a cruise, when I was in international water.
Anytime somebody says a cruise, Merv is who I picture is on a cruise. Like, he is a cruise person. And also, Mars Callahan does not want to be a hustler anymore. And yet, he's hustling to get his girlfriend a job. He's hustling Merv for a job. Like, his whole life after not wanting to be a hustler is still hustling. But it's not like he's remorseful about it.
Just play pool. Join a tournament. Join a league. Just play pool legitimately.
We do learn how smart Johnny is in this scene, though, because he shows up on the lot and he sees RuPaul's Drag Race Xerxes from 300, and he knows that the one thing that he won't be able to resist is a shitty gold ring. He's just like,
well, you see, I don't understand the bet, because if he says, "I got these shoes on a cruise," couldn't Mars Callahan just have said, "Okay, you got them on a cruise," and then he still would have won the bet? Why would Merv give away the answer so quickly?
You can't look at Merv and understand why he would just give things away. He doesn't look like he's playing too close to the vest with anything.
Did you know that if you stand too close to Merv, you get tanned as well?
This is the only part of the movie where that reality they craft that I talked about before makes any sense, because you know that Merv would honor that bet.
Yeah, Merv's like, "Well, I got to pay my debts. I'm on the hook for this job now."
We got to follow our dreams, right?
Right.
We live for the moment, right?
Right.
The four alpha characters once again reunite. The actor from Ninja Turtles 2 says, "I'm going on the road to play pool, and I'm taking all the money my parents saved up for college to bankroll myself on the road."
So I'm doing the right thing when I take all the money my family saved their entire lives for me to go to college with.
College? How old are these guys? They all look Mars Callahan's age, and he's 30. So I guess Tang, who's the character's name, he's going to take all of his money in cash. And the reason for this is because it is important later on in the film for a character to have readily accessible cash on hand, because everything is resolved through gambling, through pool.
Like, the way the dialogue is written, it should have been given to somebody else. Like, if I was saying to Stefan, like, Stefan, you probably think it's a great idea for Travis to take all the money he has, quit his job, and go out on the road and play pool with no prospects of anything else and risk his entire future to go do that. You think that's a great idea, right? Like, the way Tang sets up his own mission is the way you would say it to a friend to try and sarcastically say your other friend is an idiot.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a whole lot of dialogue up until that point, so they had to give him something.
I love Tang. So at this point, we have this. The characters say, "Hey, we're gonna have a party at Christopher Pike's house," and they have this trope, and I hate this trope so much, where the guy says he doesn't want the party to be at his house, and he says, "No party at my house. There's absolutely no way we're having a party at my house. End of story. No way. No party. Done." And then it hard cuts to the plane hitting the second tower. It hard cuts to the party at Captain Pike's house. At this party, the Fred Savage lookalike is hanging out with a little person who hates him. And Tang is spending time with a 12-year-old boy in a hot tub.
What the hell are you doing?
Eating Pop Rocks, drinking a pop.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Now, Mars Callahan can write the movie any way he wants, and he decided to write it in this way. There's no explanation for the 12-year-old.
Well, there is an explanation. They start out with Tang giving the 12-year-old sex tips in a bathroom.
That's a bathroom?
And then they progress.
And then they wind up in a hot tub.
To the hot tub. I'm thinking maybe that little kid is like Christopher Pike's like little brother. But he's not. He's nobody's little. So why is there a little kid there? And then I started to think like, oh, maybe this would be like a great moment where like Tang is like Old Spice and Aqua Velva.
Old Spice and Agua Velva.
Are you kidding? That's the shit my dad uses.
Old Spice and Agua Velva.
And I don't know why he's just holding both of them.
And then he's like, oh, Pop Rocks and Coke, what are you out of your mind? And then later the kid would like knock Pop Rocks and Coke out of some girl's hand. And she'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was dangerous. And she's like, you smell good. What is that? And he's like, it's Aqua Velva. And then they have that little Mentos commercial where they give each other the thumbs up. And then he gets the kid laid. But instead, it's just...
He gets a 12-year-old.
Wow, Aqua Velva really does work.
Last time I saw him, I think he was adopted by a 12-year-old boy.
There was a bit that I noticed, right? Because they do it twice. Christopher Pike's like, guys, we're not having a party at my house. Absolutely not. Hard cut to the party at his house. And then next time, it's like, well, we're going to need to pawn your car for money. And he's like, guys, absolutely not. No way. No way you guys are pawning my car. Hard cut to, his car getting towed. And then I was like, oh, so anything that he says he doesn't want to happen is going to happen. So he's like, guys, there is absolutely no way I'm going to let you run a train on me. And then he waits, and they're like, yeah, dude, we're not doing that. He's like, yeah, exactly.
Me against the world, baby! Yeah, baby.
Tang leaves for his pool career adventure with his shirt open.
It's winter again.
Meanwhile, Fred Savage and Captain Christopher Pike go to the pool hall where they encounter Chaz Palminteri and his new pool-playing boy named Brad. And Brad is a pro that we saw earlier in the film.
I play 20 a game.
How about we play 100? And I'll give you 4 balls off the table. You play 8 ball.
I play for 20 a game. How about 100 per game? And we play a different game with odd rules that I just introduced. Sure, yeah, that sounds fine. Just say no. No, it's $20 a game, 9 ball. Leave me alone. I don't want to be hustled.
And I know that the point of this is that this guy's good, this pro. I don't understand why the pro is hustling if he's already a professional. That part aside, like, I just feel like even if I didn't know pool at all, and maybe I'm wrong here, it's easier to make a shot when there's more balls gone. I don't understand why you wouldn't immediately get that that's making it easier for this guy to run the table.
It's to show that Joe and Brad, Chaz Palminteri and Ricky Schroeder, have invaded the pool hall. It's kind of like a samurai movie.
That's why there are sword sounds.
They've invaded the temple, and now it's a matter of honor.
When Brad says, you can take 4 balls off the table, he says, take them down. And then later on, as the games progress, and as Pike bets game after game, Brad starts to say, like, take them down.
Take them down.
And he sounds angry. And like you don't have to keep playing and keep losing. You can just stop playing. but he doesn't. And because of that, he misses Lex Luthor's show, where he plays his guitar upside down.
Do you think that that's an actual song that Lex Luthor wrote?
I hope not.
And they were like, "Hey, I want to put that song in the movie."
I think the song sucks. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a bad song.
If I'm being honest, I remember thinking that song was cool.
As a kid, 100% agree with you.
Really?
Yep.
As a kid, heaven knows I'm a redneck gigolo. Like, oh yeah, that's fucking down and dirty. And
we've already established that they are hanging out with 12-year-olds, but his entire band is like 60. Like, other than him, everybody up there is just like a lifer bar band guy, and he just does, again, kind of incoherent. But yeah, like, and the one guy's just like, "You did really good tonight," and he's like 100 years old.
And Savage is there, and he's sitting, but like waving his arms around, completely like to the wrong song.
Oh yeah,
like he
100%.
looks like he doesn't know how to listen to music.
And at the end of the song, it shows a despondent Lex Luthor, who, because he knows that Johnny or Mars Callahan missed it, all of his friends missed it. There's no one else there except Fred Savage. But the song is they're still singing in the song. Like, there's still lyrics, but he's not singing anymore.
Man, you was really good tonight.
Too bad no one will ever know.
Now, where is Mars Callahan during all this? Trick question. He's selling trailers at midnight.
Trailers at midnight?
He's not making any effort to try and sell this motorhome. He just thinking like, where the fuck did my life go wrong? How come I can't make a go of this selling trailer houses thing?
Lex Luthor has been like an abject piece of shit to those two girls at the diner through the entire movie.
You girls are gonna come, right?
I don't think we can. I gotta work Friday night, and it's Lammy's last night of training.
The last night of training, was this the Olympics?
And then they didn't come to the show too. So you think that maybe he would smarten up, but he doesn't, because no one can learn anything in this movie.
The song that Lex Luthor is singing, did anyone get I don't want to say Randy Newman, more like Will Sasso impersonating Randy Newman. Don't you worry, baby. Gotta get me out of me. Like one of the lines in the song is, "I'm nothing but a stupid boy. You're nothing but a stupid girl. You're nothing but a piece of shit." Yeah. Don't you worry.
You're just a toothless bitch.
It's just wretched. The whole...
Sucking on my nuts.
That song...
God damn it, how much you lose?
$2,000.
Lex Luthor returns to the pool hall, and it's snowing outside. It's snowing outside. There's snow.
I'm waiting for you, Danny. Now that Johnny's gone, you're the top dog around here.
And it is revealed, thusly, that Chaz Palminteri is sponsoring Brad. And that guy, Christopher Pike, he owes them $2,000. That's a lot of money for a 12-year-old version of me who watched this movie.
Okay, but yeah, so... He owes him $2,000. He went there to play $20 a game. What did he roll himself to be playing 100 games? How did he have $2,000 to lose?
All right, then I'll play him on table 4. All right, nobody knows how that table rolls better than me.
The characters devise a plan to play Chaz Palminteri on a table that Lex Luthor rigged with matchbooks. So it's all wobbly and strange. So Lex Luthor, he needs Captain Christopher Pike to pawn his car.
We're gonna have to pawn your car too, Chris. I need some extra money to throw around and put the pressure on these guys.
You are never gonna pawn my car.
And that's like a little, like, he was watching Ghostbusters. He's like, where are we going to get the money for this? I don't know.
Where are we going to get the money? I don't know.
And then it cuts.
You're never going to regret this, Ray. My parents left me that house. I was born there.
I can't believe you sold my parents' house. I was born there. They do that once in Ghostbusters, but really they should have done it a couple more times because it was really funny.
In Ghostbusters, the edit is accompanied by additional dialogue. We learn a bit about the characters. We learn how susceptible Ray is to being bullied by Venkman. And then Egon chimes in with just this statistical point about how it is such a bad idea to get another mortgage. In the span of 15 seconds, it wasn't just one joke with the edit. There was like additional dialogue, which had more jokes.
What are we, like halfway through Poolhall Junkies? How did this go on so long?
Travis, can you give us like a Dragon Ball Z-esque on the next episode?
Oh, well, next time we jump into a very exciting scene where Christopher Walken reminds Tara's boss about the bet, And then Rod Steiger says he has to leave to go buy felt.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I feel shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds.